Hi, I'm Chris. Today we're disassembling a lower unit for an outboard motor. This particular lower unit is off of a Johnson 115 horsepower outboard 2-stroke motor. Let's get started. Alright, the first step, you want to remove these 4 bolts inside your propeller bearing housing. There's 4 of them. You'll need a deep well socket and a long extension to get in there and get them. And these things have O-ring seats in them, and you'll need to replace the O-ring seat so it doesn't leak when you reassemble the gear case. Alright, the next thing you're going to want to remove is your bearing assembly. And you'll need a special tool, a bearing puller, to pull this. And it's got 5/16 threaded holes in it for your bearing puller. I have my own bearing assembly I've made. I'm going to show you how to use it. Now your bearing assembly should slide out all in one piece. Alright, after you get the bearing assembly out, you're going to remove 2 large snap rings inside the bullet. There are 2 of them back to back. They hold your reverse gear and your thrust plates. They're kind of difficult to get out. You gotta be real careful with them. Alright, after you remove the 2 large snap rings, you're going to want to tilt your lower unit downward and then shake your propeller shaft, and your thrust washers and bearings and reverse gear should all come off. And there's okay, it looks alright. Alright, there's your rear gear. This one looks pretty good. Doesn't look like it's damaged. Okay, next you're going to want to remove your impeller housing, your impeller, and your impeller pump plate housing. Alright, this impeller plate housing will have a gasket that goes underneath it between it and the housing. And you want to clean this housing surface real good underneath the housing of the shift rod and also of the water pump. Make sure they're all good and nice when the new gaskets go back on there. Okay, after you remove the impeller pump, you're going to remove the bearing housing for the drive shaft. Just take these 4 bolts out of it. Okay, put your lower unit back in position, straight up and down. And now you're going to want to remove the pinion gear and the pinion locking nut. You'll need a 7/8 opened in wrench to reach inside and get on the lock nut underneath the pinion gear. The pinion gear is attached to the bottom of the drive shaft. So you put your 7/8 inch wrench in and find the lock nut. Alright, once you have the lock nut secured, you turn the drive shaft until it breaks loose. Okay, after you undo the lock nut from the bottom of the drive gear, it should just fall out. You'll have to wiggle the propeller shaft to get it to fall out, and it'll come out. And then you take your drive shaft and pull on your drive shaft and shake it to get it to disassemble from the pinion gear. You remove your drive shaft, and then the pinion gear will fall out. And as you can see, this pinion gear is damaged. It's got a lot of wear on it, and it's busted up, and that's what's causing our problem. Next step, after you remove the pinion locking nut and the pinion gear, you want to take it out of neutral and shift it into reverse gear. You want to make sure that's all the way down, all the way in reverse gear. Then you want to remove your shifting rod. it'll just turn out. It's threaded into the shifter assembly. After you have the shift rod out, the whole propeller shaft assembly and the shifter assembly will all come out in one piece. And as you can see, the forward gears eat up. The forward gear and the pinion gear eat up in this. Okay, after you have your propeller shaft assembly out, you'll need to remove the shifter assembly from the shaft to get your gear off. So you want to remove this retaining spring that holds your clutch. Okay, once you get the retaining spring off, this retaining pin will fall out, and this will release your whole shifter assembly. Okay, once you have the shifter assembly out, you can remove the shifter cradle from the assembly. Remember to make sure you put this in reverse before you remove the propeller shaft from the lower unit. Okay, and as we can see now, there's our damage. You can see both gears chewed up on this. That's what's causing our problem in this. Alright, I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions about anything or I can help you, just send a comment to this video, or you can follow us on Twitter @GulfAssassin. I hope this video has helped you guys out. If there's anything I can do for you, give us a shout. Thank you.